Are we on? The
I
Hangout
think we're on now.
now live. Now live. Okay. Welcome back to part two. If you just skip straight to this, you got to the good stuff. So welcome. This is where we do our monthly goals. Right now it's January of 2015, and our format is real simple because Win and I are in the business together. We have a digital publishing business, and one of our goals is to be able to make $350,000 in income each. And so how we derive the number is from that itself. If you break down $350,000 in income, and that's, that might sound like a crazy number right off the bat, but there's two reasons behind that. One is because we've met a ton of internet marketers and people who are making a living online who actually make that much and more, believe it or not. And we know them, so that number isn't so much unrealistic, but at the same time it kind of is. And to be able to have a number for your goal that's unrealistic does two things for you. Number one, it makes you get out of your head to be like, how am I going to make this number work? And number two, it gives you something to inspire yourself by. It helps you motivate, that drive to be able to get something that's unattainable, that dream that is built inside of you. And for whatever your number it is for you, whether it be 50,000 a year, 100,000 a year, $350,000 a year, $1,000,000 a year, have that number embedded into that dream. And we can get into goal setting and how to do it and all that stuff later on. But we're just going to get right into some of our goals because we want to make it, open and transparent. So we will easily make $350,000 a year each. That means our digital publishing company, Rev Engine Digital Publishing, will make $58,332 a month by December 31st, 2015. And with that, we're going to share with you how we, go about it and move down the line and achieve that. Where are we currently? We're at this, 0. Exactly. So we're starting from scratch, just like you. And hopefully, fingers crossed that in, 1, 3, 6 months, 9 months, 1 year from now, we'll have numbers to be able to pop up and show you on either the blog or we'll just show you in the video here and explain how that all happened. Before we get into our personal goals, Win, I think maybe we should talk about a little bit about our background so people know what kind of experiences that we've been through. Myself, I've been in this space since March and literally starting with this thing called Kindle publishing. And there's a lot of different gurus and a lot of different authors and stuff who will teach you how to make money with Kindle. I started that off and I got into the mastermind, and that's how we met in the mastermind. And then I jumped. I got the shiny object syndrome, so to speak, and I jumped into copywriting. I spent about, I think it was like $5,500 there for a copywriting course to become a copywriter. And for those of you who don't know what copywriting is, basically it's, how I see it is it's sales on paper. And you do a lot of, content copywriting. There's all sorts of different copywriting, but you write pieces for other people. People often get that confused with copyright, which is the laws around trademarks and stuff like that. No, it's not that. and then from there, I jumped again and I got into SEO, how to sell SEO, how to develop SEO. And if you don't know what SEO is, it's search engine optimization. And then from there, I jumped into social media and learned how to be a social media person, and try to figure that part out. And then from there, I went into some other stuff, that wasn't maybe as exciting. Learned a little bit about productivity and some stuff there. So and a little bit of marketing. Try to figure out some stuff there. So that's the experience that I have so far in my limited time since March. Win, what you want to explain a little bit about kind of experience that you come from with online marketing and getting on this online space?
Yeah, dude, I was just smiling when you list all the things that you try to do. So I have a longer list. I guarantee you that. So I I've always been interested in startups and entrepreneurship. Since I quit my job, I actually went in and worked for a startup, a software startup here locally in Vancouver, and I did social media promotion for them. I did sales and customer service for them, and the startup sort of ultimately failed, as most startups do. And so after that, I tried internet marketing consulting for local businesses. So I was doing web design for, you know, painting companies, roofing companies. I tried selling T-shirts online with Teespring.com. I got into Kindle. That's why I met Tyson, and then I tried out SEO. I never tried social media because I knew in the back of my head that that's not something that I would like to do, just because from the job with the startup. I am launching another business in the Amazon space. That's part of the other 50% of my time split now. So I split my time between freedom with Kindle publishing with Tyson and another business on Amazon. So a lot of different things you could say. I also dabble at copywriting. It is sales on paper, and so that's what I've learned. And the point of us doing this together now is that we realize that we could be doing a million different things and getting 1% of the results, or we could nail down to 1 or 2, maximum 2, and get 110% results. And that's where you need to be. So if you're starting out, don't go through 10 different courses. That would have saved us a year. That would have saved us at least $5,000 plus in courses and in expenses. Stick to 1, maximum 2 if you can't decide between the 2, but you should not have more than 2 new ideas that you're working on at any given moment.
And about 21,000, man. Yeah. I know,
What?
sick. I think I spent about 21,000 total. I know, sick, isn't it?
Hey, that's fine. When I mean, I know people who are spending $100,000 a year on personal coaching and consulting. So if that's helping you getting to where you want to go for it, right? But I don't think most people who are watching this, including ourselves, are at that point where we want to spend $100,000 a year on different courses in completely unrelated fields. So stick to 1, maybe 2.
Yeah, and just stick to it, like absolutely stick to it. So yeah, you heard our business goals, and so we're in the digital publishing space, and that means a whole bunch of different things. You know, as we'll get along, we'll start disclosing what we're doing and stuff like that, because we don't actually know 100% what we're doing right now. We just have a good idea and keep up from there. But also with these goals, we disclose 2 personal goals as well, so that we can stay accountable for our personal goals, because obviously your personal goals and your business goals relate very closely, and the 2 kind of go hand in hand. So how we do personally also relates to how we do professionally. And so my 2 goals, sorry, do you want me to start with those 2 goals, Win, or you want to?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, cool. So my 2 goals for January 2015 start with my physical weight goals. Currently weighing in at a hefty 265 pounds. And so my goal by December 31st is to lose 75 pounds and get under 200 pounds, which is something that I've never, well, not never, but I haven't had that weight loss under 200 pounds for a long time. So I will easily weigh 191 pounds by December 31st, 2015. My second goal relates to my family. Was married last year, and we're having our first kid. It's a girl, and she's popping out in May. And so my goal there to thank you. My goal there is to make sure that I'm there. And if I was working a job, I don't know if I would have the opportunity to be able to just free up my space and my time to make sure that my wife is okay, that I'm able to take her to all the different appointments that she needs to go to, and just be the husband and the father that I need to be. So I know it's kind of vague, but my goal for 2015 is to be the best father, husband that I can be, and be available to my family as much as possible in terms of time and mental space by December 31st, 2015. So those are my two goals. Thanks, keep me accountable to it, and I'll keep you updated with some of these posts there.
Wow, man, your goals, your personal goals makes mine look like puny. Wow, the best father and the best husband. Man, I can't do that.
That's subjective, right?
Okay, those are really, really good goals, by the way, Tyson, and it's very, very inspiring, even for someone who is not married. I mean, the number one reason why people get into business is for the freedom, but a lot of people get lost in after they started and after this they ran their business. So our mentors say that having a kid is the number one perspective setting thing for you, because it puts everything else that's not important out of the way, and you can't BS your way, and you can't BS yourself, because your kid's gonna set the priorities for you, man, and it's gonna set it right. So great goals. So the business goal we both share. I actually don't call my goals goals. I call them my outcomes. And we can go into more details on the semantics between calling something a goal and something an outcome on a future call. But we share the business revenue number for 2015, and for my personal goal for this year, what I want to do is I want to be traveling as much as possible. And yes, that sounds vague, but what that means is that in February I'm going to spend a month in the States. So I'm going to be in Vegas, in Philadelphia, and in New York in February, and then in April I'm going to California, and perhaps a couple of other states in the state.
New York.
Exactly. Yes, I forgot about that. And New York. And then I'm going to go to Asia. So I'm going to spend a couple of months in Asia as well. So, I mean, I haven't gone there yet, but most of my goals, travel goals for 2015, are already planned, and it's going to happen one way or another. So those are our goals. Or outcomes in my opinion. So I'm gonna say two things before I pass the mic back to Tyson regarding the goal setting here. The first thing is, when you hear these numbers and when you hear what we are trying to or what we are wanting to achieve here, if the first thought in your mind is, wow, that's a large number, or how is that possible, or how is these guys who's making $0 right now going to get there? Now, I am going to say this. Your level of thoughts in your mind, what you allow yourself to believe or to think that it is possible, that is what sets the bar for you. So when you hear a number, ourselves included, when we hear a number and if we think right away that's impossible, you've already set that ceiling for you. So that resistance toward the goal or toward the number is what you should examine. And that probably is something that's holding you back.
Yeah.
And two is, my surrogate mentor, Brendan Burchett, used to like to say, like,
we love Brendan.
Yes, like, it is such bullshit that people tell you that you need to set realistic goals. And again, we're not going to go into details about that, but do not, in the name of God, set realistic goals. Okay, yeah. So set goals that make you a little bit uncomfortable or very, very uncomfortable. And I could tell you that the old me would have thought, man, $300,000 a year, how am I going to do that? And I wouldn't have why before I started. So you need to let yourself have the hope and the possibility that you're going to actually take some actions towards something that you set up for yourself. And if you think that's impossible right from the beginning, you're never going to actually do anything with it. And you know what? So what if the end of December 2015 and we only make $100,000 a year off from Kindle? Man, that would still be $100,000 that we didn't have now. So, so that's the two things I want to share.
Awesome, and I love that you brought up Brendan Burchard. Watching him, and if you haven't got his book, it's called The Motivation Manifesto. It's good. It's a really good one. It looks like the freaking Bible. Oh, it's really?
Yeah.
It's beautiful. It's like this black book, and it's got this gold lettering. It looks like the freaking Bible, man. It's like beautiful book. and I think you can get it for free still. Let's see if we can provide a link for some of the viewers on the comments below. Okay.
Okay. So hey, do you want to summarize the 2 goals for you then, Tyson?
Yeah. So our business goals this year for Rev Engine Digital Publishing, which is Win and I, is to easily make $350,000 each. And what that breaks down to is overall $58,332 a month through publishing. And that's like Win was saying, if it shocks you right now, it kind of shocks us a little bit too, but that's okay. It gets us out of our comfort zone, and it gets us into thinking. When I was still working my job that time, and I'll finish up with this really quick, I won't talk too long, but when I was finishing up my job in the last year, I didn't know I was going to get fired. But I knew that I had to get out of my comfort zone. I knew I had to do something different. And I think it was through watching some of Brendan's stuff that I started writing down my goals into a journal. And what I wrote down, was a number that inspired me. At first, it was 100,000. And it didn't really inspire me because I was kind of making that already. I was pretty close to the 6 figures mark of that year. And I hit it before, years before. So I was like, okay, you know what? I can do better than this. So I put 150,000. And then I was like, 50% more? That doesn't really inspire me so much, man. So then I put 200,000. And I was like, you know what? If I can just be double who I am today, that'll be good. But no. That's not going to be, a dream, a goal that really inspires my heart to really move forward. It won't be able to give me the opportunities and the dreams that I wanted for myself and my wife. Because we had just gotten married, and we talked about living in France. We talked about living, in California. We talked about, having a house here in Vancouver. And if you looked at Vancouver, it's the second highest, most expensive city in the world to live in outside of Hong Kong. And it's no wonder we have so many Asians here. But that's another thing. And so the number that inspired me and really brought that to fire, if you will, was $350,000. So I started writing that down every single day in my journal. I will make $350,000. I will make $350,000 a year, and I just kept writing it down every day. And for whatever reason, I just got inspired to look outside of my comfort zone, and I think maybe it was either God, God, universe, life, whatever you call it, talking to me, because as I was going up to see my boss that day when I got fired, I thought I was going out for a promotion, and I was already capped out at a certain level, and she said, you know what, you got 2 days to go, that's it, you're out of here. And it wasn't like a mean thing or anything. She was actually, just her face was all like, she couldn't believe it herself. It just happened that way. And it wasn't anything that I really felt super sad about when I walked out. I was kind of pissed, of course, but that sense of freedom that came over me, I can tell you, it was like the heavens opening up for some reason, because I knew right then and there that I had my whole future in my own hands, and I could really achieve whatever goal I wanted to. I wasn't capped anymore. I didn't have that ceiling. It was an unlimited ceiling that popped out of there. And so for anybody, I tell now, they're like, 50% of the people I talk to, they're like, oh my God, that's such a sad story. You worked in a secure government job, and probably one of the most secure job in the world, and you got laid off with 2 days to go. And then the other, like maybe 2% of people that I talk to who are entrepreneurs, who have achieved really high levels of success, and this, Win, they say to you all the time, congratulations, now you're free. And that's just like, wow, and it's true, because the sky's the limit with the internet, with the technology that we have today. There's no reason that any of us should be capped at a ceiling. We should be able to do anything at any time with whatever we want using the technology that we have today. And that's why both Win and I are so inspired to be able to jump on here and show you the stuff that we're learning as we go along the line to develop our goals and make those goals real, because there's so many cool tools that you can use to be able to move forward. And so, I talked a little bit longer than I should have, but that's just it, right? Our goal is a big one, right? It's basically $700,000 a year, and to be able to achieve that takes a lot of massive action and a lot of know-how and finding the right route and everything. But it's not impossible. It is not impossible. We know people who've done it, single guys, single girls who've done it, and who are still doing it, and and those people inspire us, and so we want to be able to get the message out and inspire more people as well. So the other personal goal, of course, I want to lose some weight like a lot of people, and I want to be there for my family and regain my time back like a lot of people. And so just to recap, and when you want to be free so you can travel, right, and explore and see new things and have the freedom to do that without having to punch in every 9 to 5 every single day, have a 45-minute window for lunch. You want to be able to get out there and do what you want. And I think these are all really aspiring goals that a lot of people have in their heart to be able to reach out and do as well. So with that in mind, do we have anything else we want to share on this part 2 of our inaugural video here?
Yeah, well, the internet has created more millionaires than any other invention that came before it. So think about the oil and all this stuff. The internet is it. This is it. This is your opportunity. We're going to capture this opportunity for ourselves. But it's big enough. The pie is big enough for everybody. So get on here with us. There has never been a better time for you to take control of your life and designing it and living it exactly how you want it to live.
Yep, exactly. Well put. All right, that's it for now, and look forward to the next video. I hope you guys have yourself a wonderful night. Thanks, man.
Peace out.
Cool.